Sophie Cunningham is going viral right now for a TikTok video she made.
Sophie Cunningham gets fined $500 by Kathy Englebrain
for making this slick TikTok.
$500 is absolutely hilarious.
The WNBA just crossed the line. Again,
Sophie Cunningham actually posted this herself, stating, "I got fined $500 for..."
This time, it wasn't a no call on a blatant foul or a technical for a player reacting to being shoved. No, this was different. Sophie Cunningham, one of the few players with the courage to speak up, just got slapped with a $500 fine for calling out what fans have been screaming about all season. The officiating in this league is a disaster, daring to say what everyone already knows.
Fans, they're responding to this video because she's calling out WNBA officiating, WNBA refs.
Cunningham posted the video 6 days ago. It shows her lip-syncing lyrics from Sabrina Carpenter's song Man-Child. The caption to the video is, "At some refs."
Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless.
Yesterday, Cunningham reposted the video on X with a caption about the fine.
Even worse, she wasn't just standing up for herself. She was defending Caitlin Clark, the most targeted player in the WNBA. If you're someone who believes Caitlin deserves better, someone who sees through the silence and spin, then drop Spicy Sophie in the comments right now. Because this can't keep happening.
Cunningham criticized some refs by describing them as stupid, slow, and useless. Damn!
Sophie Cunningham didn't hold back. She got elbowed in the face during a game, and the referee just stood there, watched it happen, didn't call a foul, didn't blow a whistle, didn't even blink, as if getting hit in the head is now part of the WNBA experience. The message was loud and clear. Players can take abuse on the court, and the refs will do nothing about it.
If you guys don't remember what happened in this game, in the Sun game, right before this, she got chucked out of bounds and the referee just stared and watched. And then she got elbowed in the face 2 possessions later and the referees just watched.
Sophie got hit in the back of the head with the elbow, right? Ref looking right at it, didn't do a thing, didn't say a thing, was shaking her head like, nah, you flopped. That is crazy work.
And instead of fixing the problem, the league decided to fine Sophie for posting a video about it. That's right. She dared to talk about what she experienced, and the WNBA made her pay.
At some refs. Stupid, slow, useless. Oh my goodness, man.
Following play, Sophie Cunningham breathes on a player, gets called for a foul. Referees were definitely not doing Sophie any favors that game and purposely ignoring, dare I say, flagrant fouls. Elbowing somebody in their shoulder, elbowing somebody in their neck, face area. Yeah, that's a flagrant foul. There's no other way to slice it.
But this wasn't just about a TikTok. This was a warning shot, a move to silence any player bold enough to speak out, especially if they're defending Caitlin Clark, who, by the way, has been taking hits, cheap shots, and elbows all year while the officials keep swallowing their whistles.
I got fined $500 for this TikTok. I don't know why this is funny to me. Like, okay, you got it, bud, because there's not more important things to be worried about with our league right now.
Sophie's message struck a nerve, not just because it was true, but because it gave voice to what so many Indiana Fever players have felt all season. Rough play, targeted fouls, and absolutely no protection from referees. Her fine wasn't just punitive, it was strategic. It was the league saying, fall in line or you're next.
Caitlin Clark, and you can tell she's talking about being mentally beat down. We also know she's physically beat down. Why does this keep happening? And look, it's not just the Fever, it's not just Caitlin. There's a bunch of players across the leagues that's been speaking out against this.
But let's give Sophie credit. This wasn't just venting, it was leadership. It was honesty. It was the kind of raw truth fans respect and teammates appreciate. And while the WNBA punished her, the fans had her back immediately.
Am I shocked that an activist basketball league decided to target Sophie Cunningham? No, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, this whole league's got all of its priorities all bleeped up, especially from social media, this and that and the other, but that's not the point. She should not be getting fined for this shit.
Support poured in from every direction. Players, journalists, fans, former WNBA stars. Everyone who's been watching this league unravel knew exactly what was happening. And that's why Sophie became more than just a player with a fine. She became a symbol of what's wrong with the WNBA's current leadership.
It doesn't seem that Cunningham will receive another fine from the WNBA for her posts and her continued criticism of the league.
Stacey Dales, who covers the NFL, has been on NFL Network forever. She's laughing her ass off about this.
Her fine was just the latest chapter in a long and growing book of examples of how this league handles criticism. The pattern is undeniable. Players who defend Caitlin Clark or speak up about injustice get slapped down. Meanwhile, players who target her, they get a pass. They're protected. They're untouchable.
Sophie gets fined for TikTok, but players can bulldoze Caitlin almost every game with no response from the league.
Let's just be honest. Caitlin Clark has endured more dirty plays than any player in recent memory. She's been elbowed, slammed, tripped, shoved into scorers' tables. And somehow, she gets fewer calls than anyone else on the floor. It's gotten to the point where fans are holding their breath every time she goes for a layup, wondering not whether she'll score, but whether she'll be assaulted in the process.
And Caitlin, she's been through the same BS. We see the pattern, and the league better start seeing it too.
It's not just unfair, it's dangerous. And the silence from the league is infuriating.
There's obviously, I did a video last night about Caitlin Clark, and you can tell she's talking about being mentally beat down. We also know she's physically beat down.
Take this for example. After Sophie was elbowed in the face with no call, she turned to the ref and made a short comment. The ref responded with a smug, "I'll remember that." Moments later, she was hit with a phantom foul just for playing defense. That's not officiating. That's retaliation. That's using the whistle to settle personal scores.
When Caitlin Clark returns, she's not getting abused and the referees are keeping their mouth shut. It's going to take somebody on the team to consistently speak out because we know damn sure the coach is too scared to get fined. Oh, you guys going to fine me again? This is the game that after pushing and shoving for a jump ball, she says 2 words to the referee. The referee says, "Oh, I'll remember that." Following play, Sophie Cunningham breathes on a player, gets called for a foul. Referees were definitely not doing Sophie any favors that game.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is getting mocked online after being injured. After being poked in the eye during a game, opponents, including one of her own teammates, went on Instagram to laugh about it. The league's response? Total silence. No fines, no discipline, no leadership.
When last year, after Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye, dirty Dejanay Carrington and Alyssa Smith got on IG and made us mocking Caitlin Clark.
This is the double standard fans are fed up with.
Caitlin Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA.
The country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has captivated the nation, breaking scoring records in college and bringing women's basketball to a whole new audience.
She is a phenomenon.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest draw in WNBA history. Her games drive record viewership. Her presence alone boosts ticket sales, merchandise, and ad revenue. She's not just a player, she's an economic engine for the entire league. And yet, the league won't protect her. Worse, they punish those who do. That's why Sophie's fine hits different. She wasn't just calling out a bad call, she was calling out a broken system. And in doing so, she revealed the deeper truth. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and WNBA leadership aren't interested in protecting their stars. They're interested in controlling the narrative.
As long as Cathy Engelbert is going to play one of the 3 blind mice, they're going to keep doing it. As long as Adam Silver just ignores this crap.
Sophie didn't make a scene. She didn't start a fight. She posted a video after getting elbowed in the face, and that was enough for the league to pounce. Meanwhile, players can hack Caitlin Clark with no consequence. Fans aren't blind to this. Even casual viewers can see the hypocrisy. Sophie gets fined for a TikTok, but players can bulldoze Caitlin Clark into the hardwood, laugh about it online, and face zero accountability. This isn't just inconsistency, it's a message. And the message is, keep your mouth shut.
And all right, that is crazy work. They have to do better by these players. You have to protect these players, man. Protect your talent. It's as simple as that.
So what do other players do? They stay quiet. Coaches stay silent. Everyone looks the other way because no one wants to be the next one hit with a fine or punished for speaking up.
Sophie Cunningham is not the type who keeps her feelings to herself. The Indiana Fever star is quite outspoken, and she has no issue expressing her beliefs publicly, even if it gets her in trouble.
But Sophie didn't stay silent. She chose to take the hit, literally and figuratively. She chose to put her platform on the line for a teammate, and that's what makes her rare in today's WNBA. She didn't need to do it, but she did. This isn't just about $500. It's about culture. It's about a league where calling out abuse gets you penalized, but being the abuser doesn't.
Instead, let's fine the players because they're speaking out loud. It would be different if the officiating was at least solid. I'd be like, yeah, you can't run your mouth about the referees. The officiating in this league blows chunks.
And the fans? They've had enough. As soon as Sophie revealed her fine, outrage exploded online. And it wasn't just noise, it was focused, targeted anger. Fans flooded the league's social accounts with criticism. Some even offered to pay Sophie's fine themselves. That's how strongly people feel about this.
How did we get to an all-star game in Indiana where Caitlin Clark is not healthy enough to play? Well, it all started last year, in her rookie season, where she received 20% of all the flagrant fouls in the league. And most of them came from Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. And these weren't basketball plays. They were not only fouling her, but they were getting up, laughing about it, laughing about Caitlin Clark getting assaulted. Any other work environment, people go to jail for what's going on.
One viral comment said it best. Sophie gets fined for a TikTok, but Caitlin Clark gets hit, mocked, and ignored. And that sentiment echoed across Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Meanwhile, Kathy Engelbert stayed quiet. No press conference, no public explanation, no defense of Caitlin, just silence. And that silence? It's starting to define her leadership.
And last year, I noticed how much it was just Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was taking all the hits. Caitlin Clark was taking all the abuse. But this year they've added Sophie Cunningham. She gets more flagrant fouls on her than anybody in the league besides Caitlin Clark. And Aaliyah Boston, she's been taking hits as well. But the worst thing is the consistency. So they don't call flagrant fouls, or most of the time, Caitlin Clark could be held for an entire game at a time. They don't call fouls. They don't call common fouls. But then when it's the Indiana Fever, guess what? Touch foul here, touch foul here. They call absolutely nothing.
This could have been a moment for Engelbert to lead, to protect the players who are driving the league's visibility, to stand beside the women who are risking their bodies every night for the sake of growing the game. But instead, she chose discipline over dialogue, control over courage, and now she's dealing with the consequences. Because fans aren't just upset, they're disillusioned.
A bunch of players and coaches over the last few days have complained without being fine-worthy about officiating. I just want to see about your thoughts on if officiating is an issue and how it can be improved. Because clearly there seems to be problems or a disconnect between what players and coaches feel and what officials are actually calling.
Let's not forget, Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is even in the mainstream conversation. She's the one breaking viewership records. Her name drives headlines. Her games trend on Twitter. Even the games she's not playing in see rating spikes because people want to be part of the phenomenon she's created. So when she gets fouled and nothing is called, and when her defenders are punished, it sends a chilling message to the fan base. The league doesn't care about its biggest star. This was the WNBA's chance to show fans they were listening, to demonstrate that fairness and safety mattered more than public relations spin. But instead, they chose silence and punishment. And now, the league is stuck dealing with the fallout.
I know as a fan of sports for 60 years now, I know that, no one's ever happy with officiating. All sports deal with it, but we're working hard to make sure we're putting the best product out on the court, and our officiating then follows that.
Sophie Cunningham's fine isn't just another disciplinary action. It's a symbol of everything wrong with the WNBA's approach to leadership, officiating, and accountability. It's a reminder that the system is protecting itself, not the players. And fans aren't going to tolerate that forever. If the WNBA wants to grow, it has to start protecting the women who are growing it. That means protecting Caitlin Clark. That means supporting teammates like Sophie who are brave enough to speak out. That means punishing the aggressors, not the truth tellers. Because here's the bottom line, the WNBA isn't being held back by talent. It's being held back by leadership too afraid to face the truth.
They play against Breanna Stewart. She goes to the line 14 times. Asia Wilson goes to the line 13 times. And Aaliyah Boston can't play 20 minutes in a game without being on the bench in foul trouble. That's another problem that we're dealing with. But like I said, this year, it's not just Caitlin Clark. If you wear that Indiana Fever jersey, consider it done. The refs are not going to be fair, and they are going to cheat and do whatever it takes to do what the higher-ups say.
Sophie Cunningham told the truth. She stood up when it counted, and she paid the price. But that's why she's earned the respect of fans across the country. That's why people are standing with her. And if you believe Caitlin Clark deserves a league that supports her, protects her, and values her contributions, then you need to stand with Sophie too. Let's be clear. Sophie isn't a bench warmer looking for headlines. She's a battle-tested competitor who's been in playoff wars, earned the respect of teammates across teams, and proven she's not afraid to get in the trenches. When someone like Sophie calls out the system, it's not drama. It's a red flag, a wake-up call the league should have listened to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. You know, I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach. And you know, I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is. And we've got to help her learn to adjust and use it against them in certain ways. You know, we've got to find some ways to make it a little bit easier for her. But the level of physicality overall in our league has been at a different level than it's been for a long time.
Because history tells us what happens when a league fails to protect its stars. It loses them. In the NBA, stars like Michael Jordan and LeBron James didn't just get superstar calls, they got superstar support. The league knew that protecting its faces meant protecting its future. The WNBA? It's still acting like Caitlin Clark is just another name on the roster. And that mistake could cost them dearly. Fans are loyal, but they're not blind. They see the inconsistencies. They feel the disrespect, and they're speaking up louder than ever before. This isn't just about one fine, one foul, or one game. It's about the direction of the league. Will it double down on control and silence? Or will it finally stand behind its stars and build something sustainable? The choice is theirs. But for the rest of us, fans, viewers, truth tellers, the choice is already made. We stand with Caitlin. We stand with Sophie. Drop Spicy Sophie down in the comments below to show your support. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.